Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. I'm George Conley with Scratch Golf Tips, and today we're looking at the golf swing of Alex Noren. Noren's been around for a while, has made some appearances on the European Ryder Cup team, has never actually won on the PGA Tour, but has seen some solid success on the DP World Tour. Today we're going to break down some aspects of his swing and see what you can learn from in Noren's golf swing. Now, the most prominent thing about Alex Noren's golf swing is the forward shaft lean. Those hands are way ahead of the golf club, and he has a very steep golf swing. If you've ever seen videos of Noren warming up on the range or even rehearsing his golf swing, you can just see how exaggerated he is in being steep and across the ball. Now, for people who would have a tendency to hook the ball, for a right-handed golfer, missing the ball from right to left and really having that exaggerated ball flight, then this is really a golf swing that you can learn from. Noren does hit a fade. It's a pretty pronounced fade. So if you're on the hook side of the golf ball, here are a few things that you can notice in this golf swing to implement into your swing for better. Number one, at address, you can see that Noren's feet are slightly open in a lot of these videos. But one thing that is also important in the setup, aside from the feet, is the shoulder line. A lot of people overlook the importance of the shoulder line when addressing a golf ball. Now, in this video down the line of Noren hitting a hybrid, you can see how that right shoulder, his trail shoulder, is much closer to the ball than that left shoulder. Although we can't fully see the left shoulder, you can tell it's open just by the upper body orientation. By having that open upper body, you're promoting a more out to in path just intrinsically. So if you're coming to in to out, a very simple change that anyone can do is opening up, yes, the stance in the feet just a little bit, but try opening up that shoulder line. Initially, it may feel a little bit uncomfortable, but you actually may get a little bit more neutral in the swing without changing the golf swing at all, which could be very simple but very effective for anyone who struggles with an in to out club path. Now, through transition, there is a great deal of weight transfer that goes on in Noren's swing. I like his takeaway move. It actually reminds me of what Spieth has kind of worked to in the past year or two with his new swing changes. But in the transitionary move, you can really see a ton of that pressure in the golf swing going onto that left side, that left foot. His foot is really flared out quite often, and that's because of how much weight transfer and how much power he's creating. The more power you create in the golf swing, the more stable base, the more promotion for rotation you need in the golf swing, and by flaring out that front toe, that's a great way to do so. But with this upper body rotation and, the weight transfer, it is important to note that Noren really doesn't sway too much. It's more rotational. When I often tell people you need to get more rotation in the golf swing, you need to be generating power through rotation, oftentimes they confuse rotation with swaying. And if you've ever recorded yourself from the caddy view, like this view is right here, you can really notice the difference between sway and rotation. So be sure that you're promoting proper weight transfer while not swaying. If you're focused on weight transfer, make sure that you're not creating some type of horizontal sway, because the issues with that are many to name. The most prominent of them is by swaying, you're changing the low point of your golf swing, and in changing the low point of your golf swing, you're just going to become a more inconsistent striker. So focus on rotation and notice how efficiently Noren transfers that weight. It's all in the rotation of the hips and the upper body, and then once that club starts coming down, he squats into that left knee. Once that left knee starts bending, it really, really allows for all of that kinetic energy to turn potential, and I really like that motion. And finally, through transition, if your weight is very far on that left side or your leading side, it's pretty natural that you're going to be steep and you're going to swing down on the golf ball. Now, here's an interesting caddy view. Now, he does have driver in hand, which is generally something that you'll hit up on, but if you'll notice, this ball is not teed up. He's hitting driver off the deck. I believe he was practicing this particular shot at the British Open just a couple of months ago. So this shot is a little bit of an exception, but actually this type of swing would work perfectly for an amateur's 3-wood or 5-wood, maybe a longer hybrid. Notice at the impact position how far ahead the hands are of the ball. And that's de-lofting the club, so that's definitely going to take a little bit of trajectory off of the ball. You're going to be hitting the ball a little bit lower, but if you're coming across the ball and hitting a little bit of a punchy fade, for someone who hits hooks and hits very high draws and you want to flight under the wind, this is definitely a swing pattern that you can look at and maybe try and replicate. It's interesting. This is not the most teachable golf swing like a Rory McIlroy or a Xander Schauffele per se, but there are absolutely things that you can learn. Noren is one of those guys who had he he had a set of skills and he decided to work with it. He didn't decide to do a full swing overhaul. He took what he had and he really fine-tuned it. So I think there's something even in that everyone can learn from. You know, a lot of people are very quick to just throw out the whole golf swing if a little thing is going wrong, but just be sure to make subtle tweaks, play around on the range, and just have fun with it. So I hope you learned a thing or two that may be able to help your golf swing in the future, especially those who, as I mentioned earlier, hook the ball. This is definitely a good golf swing to promote some more downward impact and a little bit of a steeper golf swing, which some people can benefit from. If you have any questions or comments on this video or the golf swing of Alex Noren, please leave them in the comment section down below. We read and reply to all comments on these videos. Thank you all very much for watching. Play well and take care.